Hello folks and welcome to the Vertigo Tea Party and let's try Magnetic Cage Closed. It's developed by Guru Games, published by Gambitious Digital Entertainment. You can get it on Steam, PS4, and Xbox One sometime in March. They don't have an actual specific release date that I could find. As far as operating systems that are supported on Steam, I'm actually not sure. I'll be playing it on the Windows version, so obviously there's that. But as far as Mac and Linux goes, I don't know. It does support Steam achievements, and it has full controller supports. I will be playing a free press copy that was provided to me by the publisher to show off this game. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to pick up a game I was already playing. I have about 2 hours in. Let's listen to the commentary first here.
You are free to choose which part of this puzzle you wish to solve first. Our dear psychology expert might say something about how that helps you vermin retain a small sense of control in your lives. Personally, I don't care which trap you fall in or where you misstep. Sooner or later, you all make mistakes. It's just a matter of time now.
Alright, say, this is obviously we have a very, very nice, generous... I forgot the word I was looking for, but basically we have a nice little narrator there who's watching us. Now, the story here is that you are stuck in a prison, and they are basically doing tests on you that you have to do. You might die during them. Oh well, who cares? They're basically you're just here for them to observe and do studies on. If this sounds pretty familiar, yes. Let's just get this out of the way right now. This game is very, very, very similar. At least it's going to remind you of Portal, right? Let's be honest. It's got the female protagonist. She's alone in this series of tests and is being watched and cruelly mocked by the people who have trapped her. So yes, there's going to be a lot of similarities there, and you're also doing puzzles using physics and things like that. Except this time, instead of a portal gun, you have a magnet gun, which we'll go over that in just 1 second. Now, if you're the type of person who's going to be turned off immediately just because there is similarities, and I'll admit, yes, there's been quite a few games that obviously you are very heavily influenced by Portal, then I would give it a chance is what I'm saying. Oh god, here we go. Let's not die immediately. Obviously that gas is not good. So here's the magnet gun. Let's start using it and let's start talking less. So there's two modes. There's push, which is red. You'll see it go red there, and then blue, which is pull. I right click to pull, left click to push. You can also see in the middle, like making it go up and down there. That's the strength. There's two strengths. I think there's a third eventually. I think, but right now there's just two. First strength is like a weak pull or push. Second is strong pull or push. Now there's blocks that you can pull, and there's also these things. Now normally they don't do anything special. Actually, we don't even need that. But we can do things like if we push, or if we pull, or push on them and jump, we can jump higher, which obviously is going to come into play sometimes. So I'm going to pull a block out. Now this one looks to be simple. I'm going to guess it's going to be more difficult than I thought. So right click to pull it and you hold it, and I can tap left click and you'll just drop it. However, if you pull it and then hold left click, you can push it, and if I'm still holding it, pushing is the button. And was that really all we needed for this one? It was. Wow, okay. So we'll see if they get any more difficult, or any more difficult. Always, with these games, you try to play for a little bit until the puzzles get trickier. I'm actually going to take this block with us. I have not played this puzzle. I'm going to throw it up here, because I'm assuming we're going to go up there at some point. Maybe we can use it to our advantage. So these are another thing this is one reason I actually decided to stop here, because this room seemed to use a lot of mechanics that I've used up to this point. Now these are kind of metallic things in the ground, or in the wall rather, that I can pull or push. Now here's one thing you might not notice. When I'm pulling or pushing, I'm also often pulling or pushing myself. That's something you have to be aware of at all times. I have gotten myself into trouble a few times. Obviously fire is bad. We don't want to get hit by the fire. Can't really do anything with that with the magnet gun there. We're gonna... Oh, here we go. Again, you got to be very careful here, because as you can see, it's pulling me forward, and pushing will push me back right into the fire, which obviously we don't want. Let's go ahead and pull that out. So far, this room has been very easy, so we're just going to use this. Controls are very simplistic. Like I say, left and right are for pushing and pulling. I used WAS for movement, space for jump. E for use, you can crouch. Oh, that one's not stopping. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. This is the block that I threw down here. We'll go ahead and again take it with us, even though probably not going to need it. You never know. I found that sometimes if I take a brick or block with me as far as I can, like where they don't expect you to, it actually makes other puzzles a little bit easier. So we're back here in the front. We need 3 and 4 to unlock the door. Depending on how many puzzles we can get through, I might do another room, because we're blowing through this pretty quickly. I haven't seen any enemies or anything like that so far. There's been no combat. I don't suspect that there will be. How did we get back here? Oh, this is a different room. I was like, wait, how are we back upstairs? Let's do 3 first, because we're in order. We like to go in order. So we don't want to fall down there. Now they do give you the jump pad, so if you do accidentally fall down there, you can kind of bounce your way out. Now here, this is too far to make, I think. So just to be safe, what I'm going to do is jump and almost die because I didn't do it right. I forgot. It's been a while since I actually played this. Put to let it build up a little bit to kind of give you a little bit of pull. Like it takes a little bit to pull up before it really reaches its max pull or push. So you want to build up. Now jump over. You can see I got much further that way. Oh, this is going to be a little tricky. I think. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Alright. So not doing great in here so far. I'm just purposely trying to show you that you can live a little while in the gas. That's the only reason I'm dying or taking damage. You do regenerate health, I think. Actually, no, because my borders are still red. So if I screw up again like that, I'm probably going to die. I don't know why I can't seem to jump today. We will get across there, I swear to God. This is normally not this difficult. So far... Oh, come on. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time jumping on time today. This is very odd. I haven't had this problem before. It seems like it's a little behind, but I guess I'm just hitting it a little late. So I need to jump earlier than I need to. There we go. If you're really nice... Oh, that works. That's beautiful. Thank you. Shift runs, I think? I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, the control's pretty simple. I think we covered most of that. Alright, so here is 4. And we can grab this through the bars here. Let's throw that over there. Whoa. Stuck to the wall? I guess there's a magnet in the wall there. Ah, okay, so we need to pull this over here. This has actually been a pretty easy puzzle. I'm expecting something nasty to happen. I mean, so far the puzzles have not been too complicated.
Seems like you made it through the first part somehow. This evaluation module holds no more chambers. I guess it's time for another therapy session with our dear Karen. Have fun making your choice.
You can kind of float on these, I think. Yeah, sort of. Maybe not. But it does boost you quite a bit. Alright, that one was actually pretty easy, so let's go ahead and move through. One interesting thing here is, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, what is it, Cube, I think it was? Where they're captured inside of this giant connection of squares that can be moved around. Kind of the same thing here. Is that the idea is that each of these modules that you're in are in fact modular.
XE47623. So you've managed to survive Mr. Keen's rough treatment. That is fortunate. We get so few prisoners with true survival instinct these days. But I digress. You have come here to answer another question after all. Leave your device at the stand and we shall begin.
Alright, so this is kind of an odd thing here. So you leave your gun.
In the last room you passed, there were a number of boxes, buttons, and traps. They all have a purpose. You use them to progress in your journey. But do you really see them? Do you appreciate them as you use them to get what you want?
And there is, again, there's this kind of element that they are psychoanalyzing you as well. Hey, there was a ladder. I wish I would have took the ladder instead. See, I don't know if you can... Yeah, I think you can climb ladders. Yeah, you can almost certainly climb ladders in this game. Let's see what's going on here.
How many boxes did you use in the last chamber? Think. And when you have done so, step onto the correct button. If you choose poorly, I have no choice but to reprimand you. In here, paying attention to your surroundings is not voluntary. It's the only way to survive.
Okay, well, this will be interesting because my memory's terrible.
Countdown has begun.
Oh God, no.
So I suggest that you make your
There's a
mind
countdown.
up.
Can I go in? Okay, so it wasn't 1. I remember at least we used 2. We used at least 2. 1 and the last one. The third one was just jumping across. The second one was, okay, I think it was 2.
Very clever. A good memory or perhaps an emphatic streak. Most people have trouble with such details. I would hate to think you were just lucky.
I'd like to think it was because I was super smart, but I actually did happen to remember it. So let's go ahead and do another puzzle. It's interesting to see these kind of broken up because, again, it kind of shows that they are analyzing you a little bit. I don't know what they're really analyzing there. I guess the point was, you know, you're just using these boxes as a ways to get what you want. Kind of somehow interpreting that as using people or whatever to get what you want. Let's see what they say now. What mean things they say. Exit. Oh, good. We're finished with the game, I'm sure. Remember the boxes. And I got an achievement. Maybe this is the end of a chapter. Let's go ahead and crawl through. And again, like, the idea is that these things kind of connect the tube, or the tubes or whatever. And this is a transition module, which takes you from section to section. Kind of giving you the idea that you're in this giant facility used for testing, which, again, of course, is going to be very similar to something like Portal.
Got that one right, did you? Hope you are happy with your success. Counting boxes correctly is surely worth celebrating. As an inmate down here, there are so few opportunities to celebrate anything.
And I don't want to show you a whole lot of puzzles because, again, obviously part of the point of these games is figuring out the puzzles. On the other hand, I feel like that last room was a little bit too simple. In fact, it was more simple than several of the other rooms that I've been in. Not that there's been any that were overly difficult so far, but that one was like even easier than most. So I don't want you to get the idea that, oh, these are like super, super easy puzzles where you just jump across these ledges, push the button, and that's it. There was no real puzzle to any of that, right? It was incredibly self-explanatory. Oh, and here we go. They won't let you leave. No, the cake is a lie. Oh, so they've taken me back to my original cell. So it looks like we might have finished that chapter. Oh, what a nice cell. A spigot that just spits out blood. Great.
Rise and shine, prisoner. It's a beautiful day outside. Too bad you decided to break the law and won't have a chance to see it. We haven't forgotten about your little counting success yesterday. Seems like you won't have to go through the correctional chamber.
Oh.
Now, enter the transit and let's see what kind of stunts you will pull off this time.
Oh, and I did forget to mention. The idea here is that you're a prisoner. You broke the law doing something which unknown what it is exactly that you did. And as a punishment, basically now you're the property of the state to do, you know, whatever it is that they see fit to do. And in this case, it is apparently to run experiments and to test your brain. Fack the warden is what I'm going to assume that says. Maybe, Fack the warden? Yeah.
Good old Facility 7. You were actually quite lucky in getting placed in the experimental weapons program of all the things we have down here. You would not believe the kind of experiments people are doing down here. These days, it's easy for people to just disappear. People don't want to ask questions about a few missing prisoners on death row when the threat of a nuclear war is hanging over our heads. No. Nobody asks questions. Nobody really wants to know. What they want, what they demand, are results. How are we going to defend ourselves? How are we going to win? By staying ahead of the competition. That means doing what needs to be done. It doesn't matter if a few nobodies end up dead down here or up there. It doesn't matter that some questions remain unanswered. As long as we deliver what is asked of us.
It's pretty amazing that he times his speeches to go right along with the amount of time it takes to ride the trains. One reason I'm letting the speeches go through is that the writing and the voice acting is not really all that interesting, to be honest. It's pretty cliched. The warden in particular is
A bit different from the last one you had. Apparently a new prototype is being put into play here, and you will be one of the first to try it out.
oh, a new gun. Well, sort of new gun. But yeah, it's a little overdone, little, well, quite cliche. Ah, this one does have a third power. So, woo. Hello. Now!
Jenkins! Didn't I tell you? Well then, prisoner.
Well.
The D-28 prototype might be powerful, but it can also be a little unstable, as you just experienced firsthand. Seems like you came away in one piece, though, and no one is more overjoyed by this than me. Not everyone gets to keep their hands when this happens. We'll send a new one over, and this time, I will make sure that it's stable.
Where's the new one? Let's go over here and grab it. So, let's talk about the puzzles and what... Well, first off, to kind of wrap up on the voice acting, what I wanted to say was the dialogue is, again, pretty cliche, pretty, like, cheesy. Voice acting, pretty much the same, especially the warden's a little overly dramatic. You definitely don't have that same quality of dialogue you have in Portal, which really made people love Portal. It wasn't really the puzzles so much as just everything, especially the dialogue with GLaDOS insulting me the entire time. Oh, this looks great.
I've heard rumors that chlorine gas has a somewhat metallic taste. You should be able to feel that just before your lungs start to bleed. As long as you stay off the floor, though, you probably won't get the chance.
Alright. So, before we start talking about the puzzles, let's go ahead and figure this one out. Okay. So, we will leave it on the strongest settings. I find that I usually leave everything on the strongest settings. Usually. Not always, but usually. So far I haven't had a lot of, like, mixing and matching. Alright. Okay. Oh, they won't let you leave. I'm kind of getting that impression. Let's go ahead and hit the switch. Or pull the switch. I guess you're not hitting it. Ah. Now, some of the jumping puzzles where you have to, like, bounce off and stuff are a little bit tricky. I should be able to make this. Okay. Let's push off. Whoa. Okay, okay. Easy, easy. You also don't take falling damage, which is nice. There's nothing to pull on here. Now, this is a mechanic I haven't quite got the hang of. Obviously. Is where you're supposed to, like, bounce up. Like, push off. And jump, and it gives you a lot of momentum. I can't ever really time that right. Alright, so we need to jump on this, I'm gonna guess. Now, one of the big things with puzzle games... Oop, almost squashed myself there. One of the big things with puzzle games is finding that fine line between frustrating and where the game actually feels like, hey, you know, I feel smart because I finished that puzzle. Not too fast, because if you finish it too fast, then you don't feel that smart. But if it takes you a little bit of time, then you feel kind of smart. But if it takes too long, then you just get frustrated. So, this game so far has had pretty easy puzzles. Oh god. That's not good. I think I pushed off of that a little bit. That's what I was trying to do.
Your limited flying capabilities will not get you far. Why do I say that? Because you are locked up. No matter what illusion of grandeur that device gives you, remember this. You only have what I let you keep.
I actually did not think that would pull. So yeah, that third power setting is quite powerful, as it were. So I think I had to bounce off of that. So I need to push off of this. Alright, we need to kind of do it like this. Oh god, nope, that's not good. Well, I might have not done myself any favors, because now it's going to be very difficult to land over there because we don't have anything to stop us, right? Because before that metallic thing was helping us. Actually, you know what? Maybe we can just do this. Oop, let's do this. I can just do it this way instead of doing it backwards. Oh god. Alright. There we go. Oof, that was close. So now I think what we need to do... Oh, you know what? I think I just screwed myself up. There we go. Alright. So I think what we need to do is, when we get to the top, push ourselves off. Darn it. Okay, wait. Alright, so let's try this. This is why I generally prefer to do, like, with puzzle games, I prefer to actually, like, play the puzzle first. Like, know the area first before I do it, but... So I can't push quite far enough. It doesn't seem like. Well, that time I was a little slow. So I think let's start it right before we reach the top. Nope, nope, that's pull. Helps if you do it the right direction, which I still get mixed up. Nice. I wasn't quite sure if I'd made it or not. So as you can see, the puzzles are pretty interesting. But you know, as I was saying before, you know, puzzle games, it's the exceptional puzzle games that walks that line properly between making it feel like you're actually achieving something versus the puzzles are so obscure that you just get frustrated repeatedly. And so far this game has definitely aired on the easier side.
Try not to get involved in her business. In case you forgot to mention it, though, there are large boxes here that you can't toss around quite as much as the others. You can use them to elevate your position, though. Literally, that is, you are still scum. It just happens that now...
Okay, so that's death. I'm not quite sure what was down there, but it was bad. Anyway, so we're going to actually talk over the announcer in this case.
Try not to get involved in her business.
Especially since he's gonna talk about some stuff we just heard.
There are large boxes here.
Can I bounce off of that?
Quite as
Yeah,
much as the
a little bit.
others. You can use them to elevate your position.
Let's see.
Literally, that is, you are still scum. It just happens that now you are scum standing on a box.
See, so yeah, the dialogue from the Warden's a little over dramatic. I get it. He hates his prisoners or whatever. I get it. I really get it. But anyway, and I wanted to kind of show you the pushing and pull. This is one reason you might want to use the lower voltage, because you can see here it's not really pushing me much. But if I crank it up, that's not me moving. That's it pushing and pulling me. One thing I've noticed that's really weird is light boxes seem to actually push you harder and like faster. I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to be a physics-ologist, but that seems kind of wrong to me. All right, so let's go ahead and start pull and jump. There we go. So what good did that do us? All that did was lower that. All right, let's go back up here real quick. As you can see, when you're on 3, it will really pull you very, very quickly. Oh, okay, that opened this. All right. So what do we have here? This will be the last room I do.
New addition to the facilities. Someone upstairs got it into their head that variation was more motivating. That it gives you and your peers an illusion of progress.
So yeah,
I sincerely hope that me telling you this did not impact your motivation. I would be so sad if it did.
So yeah, see what I mean? Like he's trying to kind of be that whole like jerk, hates, you know, has no respect for you, thinks so lowly of you, etc. But not really done in as clever of a way as Portal really was. But, you know, that doesn't affect the gameplay. And, you know, kind of talking about the gameplay. Let me get back up here. Ooh, that's interesting. I was hoping to pull myself over there, but that didn't work out quite like that, did it? Alright. That was poorly done, and I got the box in there. I'm actually not sure where this button... You know what, let's push this over here. Because my concern is I'm going to end up pulling it. Nope. Alright, I'm going to try this a few more times. I might not complete this puzzle, but overall, what do I think of this game? So far, I have to say, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, okay, this is like another Portal clone then. And, you know, again, obviously there's some very, very strong, shall we say, pull, like Portal. I see what I did there? But you know, again, things like this are going to be carried by their gameplay and or by their... I really don't like the way that pulls. All right, you know what? We don't need the box up there. I can just, if I can just get back over there. Whoa, God, that really is strong. I'm gonna wait for this to burst. Whoa, whoa, ouch. Wow. All right, so I probably could just use 2 in that case. Oop, over here, let's switch it down to 2 because that was a little bit much. Whoa. That's weird. Because before I was actually holding back and it was letting me with 3, but now it won't. Maybe it's because I was against the wall. I don't know. But anyway. Alright, so we're over here. Should be able to grab the box. As again, you can see it's pulling me when I grab it. Which is something you definitely need to keep in mind. Because that will kill and or hurt you. Without question. So maybe what I need to do now is pull this off. Get out of here. Nope. Come on, there you go. Now we're going to put this little box on the button. But yeah, I mean, if you kind of, you know, take it on its own merits, what do you think? Aside from, oh, that's too much like Portal or whatever. You know, I like it. I've so far, oh, you idiot. There we go. That's more like it. I'm assuming this is safe now. Okay. Doorway open. Nice. Okay. Well, this is going to be the last portal that we go through. But yeah, you know, overall, again, when I first started playing, I was like, oh, it's another Portal clone. I'm just going to crawl to the edge here. Oh, no, maybe crawl up the rest of the way. And I'm going to talk over the narrator here. But yeah, it's you know, I thought, oh god, it's another Portal clone. Whatever, we'll try it out. I've actually enjoyed it more than I thought it would. Again, you know, I like the setting. I like the whole, like, dismal, like, alone in this, a lab, and you're just being watched and prodded and poked and tested to see what you can withstand and whatnot, all in the name of science. I kind of like that whole thing. Again, the dialogue is pretty blast so far. I am kind of curious to see what's going to happen. I mean, I assume maybe you escape, or who knows. I'm curious to find out what happens. Gameplay-wise, the magnetic gameplay is pretty interesting. I feel like it's been done before. I forget which other game I've played that was like the combination of Portal meets Cthulhu that also used magnets, and I apologize, I forgot the name of it off the top of my head. So I've already kind of used similar mechanics before, so it's not like a whole new thing, but I feel like it's used pretty well so far. Again, so far most of the stages have been pretty easy, not really a lot of challenge up until this point. Even though I'm kind of past the point where the game could safely assume that you know the mechanics now, because you're far enough in the game. So I think the difficulty does need to start ramping up just a little bit. It is kind of lacking that feeling of, yes, I solved that puzzle and, you know, I feel smart. But at the same time, it hasn't crossed the even worse border of, oh, I'm so frustrated, I'm just going to YouTube this and see how it works. And then when I see how it works, I'm like, oh, well, that was dumb, or whatever. So things have made sense so far. I feel like the progression has been pretty on pace, if, again, maybe a little too quick, because I've been solving the puzzles too fast. And again, I'm not even really great at these types of games, and I feel like so far it's not been that much of a challenge. One thing I do want to do is go back to the main menu. You can do time trials. You can go through the tutorials. Tier 1 looks like that's what I've been through. And they don't open until you beat them. So you do have to go through the game normally to get to the time trial. So it's cool that the time trials are there. Also, just quickly go over the settings. Graphics, you can adjust the field of view, but only up to 90. That's not a big deal. I feel that 90 is fine. Glow quality, viewing distance, you know, your general stuff here. Audio, again, love you developers who do this, making multiple sliders for everything: music, master, effects, voice. I hate when there's like one slider for everything. I really despise that. So thank you for that. You do have subtitles, which is good. I've only got English right now. I don't know what other languages they're going to support. You can change the controls. At least I'm pretty sure you can. Yeah, you can. You can rebind the controls if you want to. Does have, you know, again, it has the gamepad support. You can change the layouts. You can also do custom for the gamepad as well, which is always good to see. But yeah, overall, Magnetic Cage Closed, which by the way, I also think the game is kind of cheesy. To me, the name Magnetic Cage Closed sounds like it's making like a mock name of like a like some kind of a cop show or a cop game. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's what they were going for, like Magnetic Case Closed. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. It's kind of a silly name, but you know, whatever. Gameplay wise, I think it's okay. It's only 15 bucks. If you like this type of game with like a puzzle game, physics puzzlers, I don't know how long the game is, so you might want to check on something like howlongtobeat.com and see if there's any names there, or you might want to check the forums to see, you know, if anyone's beat it by the time you watch this, how long the game is in total. But I think for $15, unless it ends very, very, very shortly after I just stopped, I feel like you're probably going to get your money's worth. Like I say, I've actually quite enjoyed playing it so far. If I had more time, I probably would finish playing through it, just because, like I said, I've enjoyed it. It's a fun, if not brilliant, puzzler. It doesn't really do anything major that's new. In fact, a lot of stuff is going to absolutely remind you of games like Portal, and I can't think of any of the other names that are like Portal. We should call that, is that a genre yet? Portal-like? But anyway, yeah, overall, definitely check out Magnetic Cage Closed if this is the type of your game that you enjoy. Again, for 15 bucks, if you like physics puzzlers, I think it's worth checking out. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. If you'd like to see more videos on games like this that you might not have ever heard of before, make sure to subscribe. Leave comments in the comment section below. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you next time.
Step back though. We are getting this worked up about a mobile game. I mean,
I do hate you though. I want to be 100% clear with a moment of seriousness. I hate your guts.